Hello everybody, I'm Udan. I welcome you all to another tutorial. Today we'll be exploring card dance. Essentially we'll try to make something like this, and the other way around also we can play it back like this. From nowhere the text are being appearing here. And also we would like to make something like this. Okay, the idea behind doing this is essentially telling you the power of card dance plugin. It's a very powerful plugin, and we will do one by one. So the first one is the easiest one. We will try to create this. Let's begin. So creating the composition of half HD size with 25 frames and around 10 seconds. I will call this text layer. With this we will bring in a new composition. Here we will write the text that we want to pixelate. So I will write After Effects. Okay, you might be thinking why it is writing from here, because of the settings in the text anchor position that I did in the previous one. So it doesn't really matter, we'll keep it here. We'll try to make it vanish. So with this we have already created our text. There is nothing affecting this text. Now our first job would be to create a noise map. Card Dance is such a plugin which will require at least a minimum of two layers. One would be the layer on which the effect will take place, and another one which will guide how the effect is supposed to take place. So let's put in this. We have I'll select the layer, I'll go to effect, and I'll go to the card dance. So going down to simulation and card dance, and in this card dance you will see there is one layer which is my back layer, main layer, and I need something as a gradient layer to get the text affected. Okay, now the problem with this is if I do it with the same layer, the text can be affected by the layer itself. Okay, and if we go down to the Z position and start utilizing the intensity of the layer, you will see they have already started breaking, but this does not look good, and this is not what we are actually looking for. We want to create a noise map of our own that will determine how the intensity is going to change. So we'll just keep it for 2 for the time being, though we have nothing here that will be useful later. Now creating the noise map, what I will do is I'll go down and create a layer first, solid layer, and I'll call it noise. Okay, now I will go for making it into a precomposition so that we can make use of it in a different way. So Control Shift C. I could have taken the attributes or made the noise map here, but I would like to make it separately so that I can control the way it is moving. So going down to the precomposition, now going down to effect and selecting noise map, effect, and I'm going down to noise and grain and fractal noise. So this is one noise which will always be there. Now quickly what we will do, will increase the contrast so that it is more sharper in color, say around 250, and brightness I will bring it down to around -20. Size I will transform the size, and scale I will reduce down to around 20, 30 would do. 30 should be fine. Okay, now basically if I look at it, it looks pretty nice. I'll go to change contrast to 300 now and see if I can really boost it a bit, and brightness I'll do 45 -45. This looks nice, and we will go down to make the evolution etc to change. So evolution I'll give it starting position 0, and over the end it should be evolving for maybe 3 times, so 3 rotations. So there is some heavy pixelation and animation going on. Now to make it more noisy, I will go spline, and here we will make it dynamic twist. So now it looks more smooth and more sharper in nature. Okay, I would suggest make the scale size even smaller, maybe 10, and see how How small does it go? Yeah, this is great. Now with this, we need to cover it up, giving it a little bit of vignette look, otherwise it is going everywhere. So we'll go to layer, new, and there's solid. Maybe call it ramp. Sorry, I wanted to name it ramp. Okay. Now in this one, I will simply make it black. Go for Control Shift Y to go for the solid setting, make it completely black. Hit OK out there. Okay, and then I will go for my mask. Inside mask you have a elliptical tool, so elliptical tool, and then I'll double click. So I already get this one. In the mask I'll go for inverted mask and then hit F or go for mask feather and increase the mask feather. So I get a decent ramp like effect or centralized effect altogether. The things in here will get prominence, out there will get less prominence. So more or less my job with this one looks okay. Let's just quickly go through it once and see. Very nice. Now next thing, I want to create a gradient which will be affecting from one side to another. So I'll go for a white solid, and then this I will call it gradient. In this one I will make a mask. So of course a rectangular mask will be needed now. So I'll make a big rectangular mask around it, because this is the one which will be guiding how much of the text is visible and how much is not. Then with the pick tool I'll select one of the points, any one, and then select the line in between and try to push it. So maybe beginning everything is visible, so mask path is what I will animate. Going down to mask path animation for this, and then going to the end. Okay, marquee selecting only this side. Okay, and then I'll select this point, and of course press shift so that it is more control. Going down to another side. So what I have got is something like this movement. Now this looks very sharp, so I'll give it a little bit of feather, maybe 50-60. Fine. So our effect is happening across this line. Okay, going down to my text again, where the noise map is already created. Okay, now I don't need to see this. I need After Effects to be seen. Going down to the After Effects, here the noise, putting the noise map out here. Okay, now you will see the things are very sharp and it's affecting over a line, but this needs to go very high. So we'll go for around 500 by maybe 500. Okay, so now we can see the effect is taking place across this line. See, across this line it is affecting very nicely, but only thing, it needs to completely go away. Okay, now we'll come down somewhere in the middle, somewhere here, so that part of it is done. Now rest of the things will change up here. So what I do, the animation process would be in the beginning multiplier, okay, in the end the multiplier will be full multiplier or whatever the values, or maybe around here you can keep it. Okay, multiplier value to be whatever you feel like, and in the beginning the multiplier should be 0. So as it goes, it will start affecting the text, or intensity will increase. But in Z, it really doesn't matter even if you animate or don't animate. I'll keep the multiplier in 2.5 maybe, and just try how it looks. Okay, not much, no problem, it looks pretty nice. Okay, great. Now rest will all be done from the other two, that is X and Y position. So first we will try to put somewhere here, and we'll try to see X position, or first Y, because of Y will go vertically up and down. So picking up Y with the intensity, we can go for vertical slope also and see how it spreads. This is good. So we'll keep the multiplier. Okay, let's try with 2 and see how it looks. It may be too much, but I think this looks much better. So we'll keep that 2 in the beginning. Since nothing is there, so it will not affect. As it comes down, it will be breaking up our text. Okay, great. Come down here again and we will try to do a similar thing with the X and see how it looks. The X intensity in Y, at horizontal, let's see. So if you like that background effect where it is spreading everywhere, it is fine. Otherwise you don't need to put on X. So our text effects will be something like this. It will take some time to render. Now basically what we are having here is the effect which is again trying to rebuild After Effects at the end. So we'll come down till here as it breaks. Last letter we will keep the offset value 0, and then along the end we will change the offset value to a very large number so that this is no longer existing here. So with this it should look okay. Let's just quickly check the offset value. By pressing U I can go into its effects, and from here till end the offset is taking place. Multiply by somewhere maybe here. Let's see, here it is. Nice, and then the end it goes and the offset goes up. Fine. We'll also do the same things for Y and Z, X. So X position till this time multiplier is same, offset would be kept same. We'll go for pressing U to reveal the effects, and by the end we will boost this to very huge value, something like okay, till here multiple. We don't want anything to happen, so make it 0 and keep this one to intensity. Okay, and by the end we want it to really affect it up, so we will give it maybe 4, 2 or 4, anything, and let's see. I think by now it should be breaking it up. Yeah, give it something like this is multiple X multiplier value, so this should be picking it up as it is going up, so there is no problem. And now let's quickly see. It will take some time to render, so meet you after the render. So this would be one of the effects that you can think of using. You can also play it from the other way around like this. So things can be made into dust and dust and coming into dust. Now there are other professional third-party effects which will do this in even better way. One is that Trapcode Particular. We will do it once again, but in a with a different tool altogether. But as of now, the same thing we can do it with CC particle world. We will come down to that when we are dealing with that, but as of now this one is the first one of card dance effects. Okay, we're going down to the next one. We'll go for a composition and a new composition. We'll take a new composition altogether. I already created an image for that. We have already this card dance material which will be available in your folder. You can get it. So this is a simple image. What I have done is I have made a 50 by 50 matrix of image so that we can apply the card dance effect out here. Now I will go down to effect and apply card dance to show. So we'll go for the simulation and going down to card dance effect. In this card dance effect you will see nothing much happens as usual. First of all, I will try to make it to the size of the image. So we go down to here. Layer map, I will also use the same material so that it breaks up in equal spheres. Okay, and in the gradient layer 2, same thing, we will do the same thing. And up there in the Z positions, initially I don't want any multiplier Moment I give intensity, it will start baking. I don't want any multiplier up here, so I will keep it 0. Okay, keep it 0, and as I go along, or maybe by the end, I'll keep it 0, and somewhere here also I will 6 seconds also I will keep it 0. So to have it seen, I'll be pressing U, I'll keep it 0, and as I come here, I give it around 10. Okay, now you might be thinking why it is breaking in such a manner, because these numbers are not right. So let's try 10 image by 10 image and hit OK. Now all single images are pieced up very properly, you can see that, and they are building up the image. Now from here onwards, I want the camera to change, so I will go down to this camera systems. Inside this, I will have this Z position. Okay, I will push it farther away. I exactly get this in line with the way I want. Okay, so from here till here. So from here, it should be till here. It should be exactly this position 70 as such. So position we are fixing it up here. And by the end somewhere here 8 seconds mark, I want it to really become close. Okay, say from here to here I want it to be going back to its original value, and we'll push to something which is more natural. Say 4 images are fine. So now what happens, as it fixes up, it comes up. Okay, now it is already going here. I want to make certain changes, the rotation basically. So we'll go down to camera position change, X rotation, Y rotation, Z rotation. Here everything is fine. I don't want to change anything up here. Maybe 7 seconds I will keep this rotation values, pressing U to make these rotations viewable. Here are my X, Y, Z rotations. It's rotation, Y rotation and Z rotation. I'll pull these values and place it a second back. Up here I will make the necessary changes or rotations. So maybe this is up to your taste, you can change it in whichever way you want. I'll go like this, maybe a little bit Z rotation. Y I will rotate it like this, and X I will rotate it a bit like this. So what I have is to be fixing up here and gradually come. Okay, so this is my images. They will all come up and they will be fixing up here and come. Now in here I can give it a little bit of rotation also, so that there will be some change in XYZ positioning. Up there I can give it a nice rotation on whichever way I want, something like this maybe. It's up to you, completely up to you, whichever way you want to rotate it. Okay, Z also I can give it a nice rotation. So now it will be more dynamic and it will look like 3D also. Okay, do not go for overdoing the thing. This is fine. Now one more effect we can do up here is we can give it a nice glow. Okay, before that let's go for the lighting settings up here. To make all my images very much visible, I can work with the lighting materials. So lighting from a distant source, fine. Intensity will animate, everything should be perfect by the time it comes here. Okay, so we will keep the light intensity. We will also go for the ambient light, and then we will make the necessary changes in other places. So okay, here they are. So these are my two lighting effects included. Now here I will be increasing in the beginning. I will increase this also to maybe 1, so that all thing everywhere is visible, and that should be fine. We are looking fine. By the time they will come, it is fine. Okay, now this gap we can also, I think, increase a little bit. Going down to my Z position and its intensity, we can make it like 15. It will be more depthful, so more movement will be visible. Yes, this is fine. Okay, now putting on a little bit more, or rather jazzing it up a little bit would look nice as they go along. Okay, as they go by, we can make it a little bit jazzing up. This jazzing up we can do by using many different ways, glow, etc. But I would like to use one which is, that way I can show you one more effects as well. So going down to the effect, selecting the layer, going down to effect and going down to generate, and there is something called light burst. Problem is, light burst, wherever it rotates, it tries to throw everything towards the screen. This is something we don't want. Like in this case, I want the light burst to be showing on different directions. Okay, light burst, and then it is coming towards the camera. But the problem with this is that they are not looking really 3D in nature. Okay, now intensity wise we will have to reduce this light burst intensity up here. This we can change by light burst. Here we have something called intensity, one ray length. So by the time it comes up, we don't want any ray length at all, 0. And in the beginning I want the ray length to be maybe 10 or 5, whatever you feel like, it's up to you, and you can test it with different ranges. Okay, so this will be the effect as it comes down. Okay, now the thing up here is, why not to have it showing up here. This is my ray length. It has reduced too much, so what we will do is we will increase it a little bit, not much maybe, but a little bit, so that still we can see the effect happening. And let us do a quick effect swap also. The center we will try to change. This center will animate over here. Okay, then in the up here it is fine, but we'll try to keep it maybe to one corner somewhere, that side or this side. Okay, so that it, now see, when I want to really make it into 3D, it's not giving me the ray length on the other side, so keep it up here maybe. And as I go along, let the center be somewhere there. So now as the image turns out, you will see the ray of light also appears to be more 3D in nature. Then by the time it comes up here, this does not matter where you keep it, but still we will try to keep it in the center so that there will be slight movement. Okay, this looks fine. So with this we are almost in the end of the card dance tutorial. Other things we can do, a lot of stuffs we can do with this, and that will be more into track mating that we can do. Like in the example that I showed you, this was what happening. So I had this one there, just like what I have shown up here. Then this thing is appearing, then there are some text materials affecting up. So we will try to, till here we are done. Now we will try to develop this effect. Okay, so going down to our comp up here again. Now the question is about the text. So remember, we are somewhere in the 6 seconds to 7 seconds onwards. Our text, from here our text is supposed to come. So we have 7 to 8 and like this. So basically what I have written is nature. So let us quickly make this text material. It's up to you whichever way you write. So going down to write the text. Okay, so this is a very small text. I will like to make it bigger. So press shift and hold down the key so that it really makes it bigger. Start building up, press shift, and fine. So I'll keep my text somewhere here and gradually it will move up a little bit. Now the effect that I was talking about was trying to make a mask of this one, isn't it? Here comes the use of our concept of treadmill. Before doing anything, I will click this, I will make it into a precomp. So Control Shift C or layer and convert. Here we have precompose. I will call this cut dance material. Okay, hit OK up there. So I have already got a precomposition, and text also I will make it into a precomposition. So going down to precompose and call it text material. Okay, there is nothing, no effect, anything. Now both of them we will work together. Now here one problem would be, if I make the text opacity go down up here, it is like a label, it will be sticking up here, so it is not really looking nice. We will make the text material separately. So now we have here the text materials which is blank, but there should be some transition. So till here the text material should not be visible. Okay, it should only be visible after this. Now why I am saying this, let me first explain. Say for example, here I have, and we are going for making a track matte. So this is my alpha layer, this is my RGB layer, putting it into alpha matte. So see, from beginning to end, what I see is everything is through this nature. This is what I don't want. I want that initially everything should be visible, only by the end it should come like this. Okay, that means I need entire area to be white in the beginning, and when I want the text to come, then gradually this should appear. Okay, so to begin with, let's put another layer new and a solid layer, of course white, because white with white, and I'll put it over this one. In here from 6 seconds I will make the opacity, so pressing down T to go down to this opacity, and I'll make the opacity keyframed at 100. By the time it reaches 7 seconds or so, I would hit the opacity to 0, so that this one is gradually visible. Same I will work with the opacity and do just opposite. Here I will keep it as 100, and as it comes down here I will make it 0. So here will be a nice transition happening, if you notice. Yes, exactly this is what we want. So now if I go down to my comp, initially since it is white, everything is visible. As it comes down to 6 to 7 seconds, gradually this effect is coming. Now few things we can change up here, small changes we can do. There are two ways to make it visible. First, let's take the nature to a little bit up there. So once the nature is appearing completely, then we will animate its position, not the white solid but the nature position. We will press P to make the position visible, and then we will push it to a finite value, maybe say it is 456, a little bit in Y direction. So first we will make the position stick up here, and maybe then 1 second it will go a little bit up. Okay, not much, a little bit, whichever way you feel like. Too much will also look bad. So coming up here, the nature goes up. Same thing in composition. Now what will happen? It will appear and then it will be gradually going up. Okay, now the question is the edges. Okay, we need one more text. I think I have written something over there. Preserve for future. Okay, we will write that as also. Going down up here, and we will write preserve for future. Okay, so another text layer, and going down to, sorry, I need another text layer, and I will write it up. Preserve for future. Okay, now up here we can adjust it, the length and the size. This is not an important thing. Okay, and I will keep it for the time being here. Now here I will show you one more effect to get this one working or coming up. Okay, a very interesting effect is already there. Now right from the beginning it is up here. Now preserve for future, I by mistake put it in the wrong one, so copy select this, edit and cut, then going down the comp, and over that I will do edit and paste. So preserve for future is coming up here. Okay, but we don't want to see it before nature starts moving, so its opacity, this opacity I got it by pressing T. Opacity I will keep it 0, so it's not visible. As nature starts moving up, I will make the opacity full 100, so it is visible. Okay, so it is happening like this. Great. Now generally there is a nice effect with which we can make it appear from one side to another, but this is a long process. Of course we can make this thing with a gradient map, that it is gradually coming letter by letter. We can do that. So in place of making the opacity play, okay, I will keep the opacity full, but I will make it a gradient layer to do this. I will go down to mask and create a mask exactly over this, keeping a little bit more in this side so that there is a mask. Give the mask a little bit more space, not much, a little bit more space, so that when we apply feather it should not really eat up the whole thing. So by this position I want the mask path to be completely made visible. So I will go down to enable mask path, it is M, or we can open the mask and find the mask path, animate mask path. Going down to maybe a little bit down here in the 8th second. Okay, what I will do is I will click the mask path, the two sides, and I will press them against each other and bring it down here. So here I don't have anything, then gradually it starts up forming the text. Now it is very sharp, so give it a little bit of a feather so that it comes smoothly. So we will find it something like this. As the text goes, my text comes up here. Okay, so with this we can nicely make this effect. You might be thinking there is one more effect about writing the text up here. You can check this. I have used a third-party plugin called 3D Stroke from Trapcode package of Red Giant Technologies. This is not really installed in college machines, so I cannot really show you up here, but this is more or less what we can do. Now to trick it up and make these edges a little bit more visible, what I can do is I can bring back the text of nature. This is my nature text, so I will copy this, edit and copy, and bring it down to the comp up here and paste it there. Edit and paste, and make sure that this one goes behind, this one goes behind everything. Okay, because it's a transparent layer it will be visible. Then we will just adjust the position of this one a little bit, so position, and we will make sure that by the time it comes up here it goes a little bit down. It doesn't come exactly to this level, maybe somewhere here. Okay, so at least a thin outline we can see, and of course we can take the Y position like this. So initially they will all be together. As it goes it will bring up like this, which is a decent effect, I believe. Okay, so with this we come to the end of card dance tutorial, and of course we have done many other things beside card dance. So please try to play around and see what more you can do, and have a nice time and nice play with